In our legislation, we have some rules to estimate the minimum capital. This minimum capital, the rules to estimate this capital are stated by decree, but it cannot be lower than that established for private companies. So in general, we have a minimum capital for all the private companies in Spain. And this minimum capital must be always respected by private companies on sport, although the rules to estimate the final quantity is established by decree. So another specificity is that this minimum capital have to be totally disbursed and that founders cannot reserve for themselves any advantages. So in the rest of sport private companies, the founders can remain for themselves some advantages that cannot be higher than a 10% of benefits. In this case, all the shareholders must receive an equal treatment. More specificities. The acquisition of significant shares will be communicated to the Council of Sport as well as they are equal or multiple to 5%. And it is also mandatory the authorization of the Council of Sport to acquire participation in these companies, which is equal or up to 25%. So if this is not fulfilled, this means this becomes a very serious offence in the case of not ask for authorization to the Council of Sport, as well as not send the audit report on annual balance, the refusal or obstruction to the examination of share book by the Council of Sport, and it is they are sanctioned for that. And it is considered to be a serious offence not to communicate to the Council of Sport the acquisition of these kind of significant shares. Another specificity of these sport private companies is that they, as well as clubs that take part in national professional competition, cannot participate neither directly or indirectly in capital of other SADs that take part in the same competition or, if different, in some sport discipline. Well, I will clear something. In Spain, professional competition are those competitions established to be professional by the Council of Sport. I will explain it later on. Another thing is that individuals or legal entities that have a participation equal or upper to 5% cannot have directly or indirectly a similar participation in another SAT, in another company, that takes part in a professional sport competition, or if different, in semi-sport discipline. What can the Council of Sport can do? It can also examine shares and registry book, and SAT, the sport private company, is obliged to send the Council of Sport as well as the league an audit report on annual balance before to register it in the commercial registry. The Council of Sport can also demand a complementary audit carried out by auditors appointed by the Council of Sport. Now, I will speak to you on professional leagues. This is an association, the association of clubs and SATs which are mandatory if there is a national professional official competition, which is set up by the Council of Sport. They have legal personality, autonomy from federations, although they are integrated in federations. They have their own regulations, and it can only be a professional league per discipline and sex. So at the moment, we only have 2 professional competitions in Spain: Professional Football National League, first and second A division, and Basket Clubs Association League. These are the competencies of the leagues. I will not explain this screen as I am a bit short of time. And so what about the sport federations? They are also private entities with legal personalities, and they are integrated by autonomous communities, federations, sport clubs, sport women, etc. They have their own regulations according to our right, to our law, and they must have democratic elections each 4 years. They represent Spain in international events. There is only possible to have one federation by each sport discipline, except those for handicapped people, and they are registered in the Council of Sport Association Registry. This inscription is provisional during the first 2 years, so that the Council of Sport can revocate it if the reasons that were present for its recognitions disappear. The Council of Sport has always also authorized to register these federations in international federations. These federations may have two kinds of functions, private and public ones. Among the public functions, they organize and qualify sport and national events. They collaborate to highest level sport training plans. They train sport technicians, etc. And they represent Spain and international competitions. So federations choose sportmen or sport women who are part of national teams, and these sportists with a federation's license are obliged to attend the call to take part in national team in order to participate in an international competition. If not, they are punished as guilty of a very serious offense. Resources of federations, subvention from public entities, we give some money to these federations, donations, inheritance, loan credits, etc. They can be extincted by causes foreseen in their statutes, as well as from a revocation of their recognition by the Council of Sport, a resolution from a court, not ratification by the Council of Sport 2 years after their registration, etc.
Anna, we have time limit. All presentations will be posted on our website, so if you have some closing remarks,
okay,
it could be useful.
Okay, these are the criteria to authorize or turn down their setting up. Well, just to mention that the Council of Sport issued a Federation's Good Governance Code. It's just a recommendation for federations in order to get transparency in their management, and it's an important standard to set up the grant that federation will receive from the Council of Sport. And it has a duties of members of boards, monitor bodies, etc. Okay, about the Spanish Olympic Committee, just to say that it's a non-profitable association with legal personality. There are aims to develop of Olympic movement and ideas. They have their own rules according to legislation and International Olympic Committee rules. All the sport federations are part of the Spanish committee, and we also have a Paralympic committee with the same functions regarding handicapped sportmen and sport women. Okay, that's all. Thank you.